Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning into the video. I am JDMJ, and we are currently working on tearing down my 2JZ engine. We are currently live on all platforms when this is originally being shot. We are live on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. I also have an Instagram. All my pages are official JDMJ, and my car page for Just the Supra is SANGUINE.SUPRA, Sanguine Supra. So like I said, if you guys are interested in the content, make sure you go ahead and drop a follow, drop a like, drop a subscribe, leave some comments in the description, or I'm sorry, in the comment section down below. I also will have all of my links to my other channels and platforms that I post to in the description down below. Anyways, for those that are viewing this live, thank you guys very much for tuning in. I just see some people popping into the live right now. It is a little cold out, but I actually just went out to Ace Hardware and got the bolts that I needed. So here in this bag, we have we got 2 bolts. So these are a M6 1.0 thread pitch bolt, and we're going to use these to remove the last part holding the crankshaft into the engine. So there's the oil pump / front main seal and the drive belt, so the timing belt that controls everything from the crank all the way up to the cam gears, intake, and exhaust side, is driven by a gear, a sprocket. And the sprocket needs to be removed from the crankshaft in order to be able to remove the crankshaft. So we got these 2 bolts, and we are going to go ahead and get into this. So let me go ahead and glove up. Let's go ahead and unveil the 2JZ. And like I said, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and unveil the 2JZ. And for those that missed the live the other night, we were live. We removed the AC condenser. I'm sorry, the AC compressor. I keep calling it the condenser. Live restricted. That's nonsense. Trading or using tobacco. I'm not using tobacco. Stop reporting my live. Stop sending false reports on my live. That's bullshit. I'm gonna make it so it can be only adults in here soon. Sending fucking false reports to my live. Bullshit. Otherwise, I'll stop going live on TikTok, and you guys can come over to the Twitch and the YouTube and enjoy my content. Anyways, though, somebody wants to be a fucking dickhead. Anyways, though, I'm gonna go ahead and unveil the 2JZ. What are you gonna report me next for drinking root beer? You gonna report me next for drinking root beer on my own live? Fucking clowns. Using tobacco? I don't even smoke tobacco. You talking about my caramel cold brew M&Ms? Is that the tobacco that somebody reported me for quote unquote using? Look, I'll pop some more caramel cold brew M&Ms. Report me on my own live. What a joke. What a straight joke. Anyways, right now we are unveiling the 2JZ. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the part card out. Just kind of move it out of the main frame. Okay, and we'll also pluck these towels off of the crankshaft. Throw them over here on the cylinder head. And we've got, so we were able to successfully get the crankshaft pulley off earlier, which is this bad boy right here. If it's gonna focus on it. So we got the crankshaft pulley off earlier, like I said, or the harmonic balancer, whatever you would like to refer to it as. I just call it the crank pulley. And we also have our harmonic balancer puller kit, which should work. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did to the crank pulley to facilitate getting this off. So I'm gonna use some parts blaster, penetrating lubricant right here. So we're gonna use some of this. And then I could probably bring you guys a little bit closer, but in the meantime, I'm gonna put you guys over there. So I'm just gonna, here, let me move my impact out of the way. And we'll pull the girdle over here so we can clean that up. I also started to clean up the oil pan last night. Scrubbed it down, hit it with some brake clean. And then the other thing that I'm gonna do, like I said, is just kick my sockets out of the way and that. So yeah, I'm gonna use a little bit of parts blaster or PV, penetrating lubricant, whatever you wanna call it, just around the timing belt sprocket, or yeah, timing belt sprocket is what I'm gonna call it. So make sure that's lubricated properly. And then before I actually put these two M6 bolts that we had to go pick up, before we put these, is gonna show up. Hold on, let me make sure I got autofocus on. There we go. That's more like it. So before we thread in these M6 by 1.0 thread bolts, these are 70s as well. So I also picked up some washers, threw some washers on the end, as you can see, distribute some of the weight or pressure that's going to be going on to them. Not weight, but you know what I mean. So before I thread these in and start working on pulling off the crank sprocket, I'm going to use a little bit of brake clean. So I got a can of brake clean right here, and we're going to go ahead and use this to clean out the threads before I thread this in. Threads are pretty clean, but since these are brand new bolts, I want to make sure that there's no debris, no metal fragments, nothing in there that could, oops, nothing in there that could interfere with threading these bolts in. So give it a little blast with some brake clean. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up and set up our harmonic balancer puller kit. So we've got this bad boy right here. And then I actually have a bolt in my hoodie I have to put back in this kit. Let me go ahead and grab that out real quick. So got that bolt, but unfortunately these bolts weren't long enough, so I can't use that. So like I said, this is going to be our harmonic balancer puller kit. And then let me just make sure, are we down at 1.8? We are down at 1.8. Okay, so we're going to get the best low light with 1.8 on the lens. We're going to use this. And we're going to need this and that. All right, so we really only need these three things. We got the center pin or center bolt, whatever you'd like to call it. I'm going to go ahead and begin threading it in. And then we've also got this, which goes on the end of the center bolt. So that'll go on the end of the center bolt. Probably don't even need it to be that far down. Just going to start with it right there. And then our bolts. Oh shit, I hope these are big enough. Oh brother. I didn't even think about that. Damn. Okay, I might have to stack some washers on top of this. Damn, I did not think about that. That's part of the tricky part is this is so small. I hope I have some extra washers over here that are bigger than this. that will work. Let's see, will those work? Shit, I don't think so. I hope they got some more over here. I don't think I do. Well, that's gonna be interesting. Whatever, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work somehow. I honestly did not think about getting smaller washers. Damn it. Whatever. Let's put my phone down here. Let's see if these washers fit with these. And of course, they're way too small. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's see. Is this a smaller washer? Can I even get it off this nut? I don't even think I can get it off the nut. Damn. Okay, that is a problem I did not think about. Damn. Damn indeed. Yeah, it can pull right through. Shit. I might have to use these bolts. M6mm by 1.0. All right, whatever. I guess I'm gonna have to try to use these. Well, unfortunately, this is a actual unforeseen problem that I did not necessarily think about. Because of the nature of how small these damn M6 bolts are and how absolutely gargantuan these holes on this is, we're gonna have to use these ones that came with the kit. Hopefully these thread in, no problem. I was having an issue with them before, hence why I originally went to Ace Hardware in the first place to go pick up a replacement or something that would be suitable for this. But I don't know if that's gonna work, so. What time is it? 7:21. Let's see. Yeah, that's not right. What about this one? Okay. Must just be some damn gunk in these threads, because originally it didn't feel right when I was threading this one in either, but now it's going in nice and smooth. So, let me go ahead and rotate the crank so I can access both of these bolts. Okay. All right, never mind. These should fit, because if these bolts that I just got are fitting, these two that I have in my hand right now should fit. I think what it was is these threads are so old. They probably haven't seen hardware in a very long time, so. Okay, so we're gonna need to put this here-ish, and then we can just loosen this. We're gonna need to use these horizontal holes. Go ahead and loosen this up a bit. And let's see if we've got clearance. You see, that's some bullshit. Something is not right with these bolts. Nope. I'm gonna damage the threads if I use these. Which is so weird, because they claim that they're the same bolts. Oh, fucking hell. Come on, dude. I'm gonna have to go back to fucking Ace Hardware before they close, because these are not the right fucking bolts. And these ones are too small. Brilliant. Brilliant, brother, brilliant. Yeah, those fit no problem. So this is a unforeseen issue. I mean, I don't know why. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I don't know why, because these are supposed to be the same exact bolts. These are M6 by 100. I literally just bought them. Inside the box, guess what it says that this is? I keep kicking the damn camera. Hold on, let me just adjust it. Keep fucking kicking it. This is an M6. Let me get out of frame because it's gonna want to autofocus on my face. This is an M6 by 100, these two. Or I'm sorry, not 100, I'm sorry. M6, M6 by 1.0, okay? This bolt here, M6 by 1.0. Check the thread pitch. Not exactly the same. So I don't know if it's because these are cheap bolts or what the deal is, but these are not the right ones. These will not work, nor will they work. They're just gonna end up damaging the threads, and it's gonna make it a lot more of a pain in the ass. So we're not using those. And I have to go back to Ace Hardware to go get more bolts because I don't keep washers and bolts and all sorts of things like that on hand. So we're gonna need to go get some bigger washers because this just simply doesn't fit, which is slightly disappointing, but it's all good. It is all good. Should have knew that I was gonna need some bigger washers to stack on top of it, but whatever. Yeah, washers are currently so small that they literally just pull through. I mean, I could try it. I could just try it. All right, well, before I rule out having to end the stream and go out again, I'm at least gonna attempt to see if these go in. Let's just double check, is this a 10 mil? Okay, that's in. This side is also in. And then what we can do now is just, let's get these washers pulled back as far as we can. Let's try to get this tool nice and centered up. Oh, here she comes. Okay. I wasn't anticipating that to work. Okay. All right, and then I think I gotta undo this bolt real quick and peel this tab off, or pull this tab back. Okay, that is off. We're just gonna keep working this bad boy off. I think it's already almost off. Just keep rotating it. All right, the crank is almost ready to come out. There is probably a couple more turns left. Oh man, oh brother. Come on, baby, come on. Okay, and off it is. Alrighty. Okay, so that is, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure this is our oil pump. It is driven by the crank, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that over there, and then we're also gonna put this bolt back to where it belongs. And here is our crank pulley, or I'm gonna call it timing belt drive gear, but this is what I originally was gonna have a problem getting off. So these bolts, and because they're so small, I'm glad I did get washers, because if I didn't get washers, I don't think this would have worked. But the washers are so small that they almost slide between these slots here. So thankfully, I didn't have to put so much pressure on it that it didn't work, but I was able to get that out. And now the only thing that's holding this crank in is nothing. There's nothing holding this crank in, and it is ready to pop out. So let me go ahead and just loosen these bolts off of this. I'm gonna call it timing belt drive gear. Okay, so those are out. Glad I went to Ace Hardware and picked up these bolts, because I would not have been able to do that without it. Okay, and then I can just toss these bolts over here on the cart. I already know what they go to. There's nothing crazy, nothing special. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that is our good old timing belt drive gear, or sprocket, whatever you'd like to call it. But that just came off the crankshaft, and this and the oil pump were the only two things holding the crankshaft in the engine anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this tool off real quick, and then put it back in the case. And I might even be able to return that to O'Reilly. Okay, so we can go ahead and pop that back in there. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I picked up this tool from O'Reilly Auto Parts. You could probably get one from AutoZone, or maybe even Amazon, but this is just a simple harmonic balancer puller kit. I think I paid 22 bucks for it, and it just did the trick. Not only did it help get the crank pulley off, but it also helped getting the the timing gear, or what is the official name for that? The timing sprocket off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe this down, because I'm probably gonna end up returning this tool, clean the oil off the threads. And let's see. Oh, we got some people dropping some love in the chat. What's going on? About to get me a sub number 9. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, Jersey Mike's number, what is it called? It's called the Club Supreme. That is the best one, man. They put some bacon on there. Oh my goodness. That is the sandwich to get right there. Anyways, like I said, we just got that out, and then I'm gonna bring you guys a little bit closer up as I'm about to pluck the crank right out of that engine. So go ahead and drop my hoodie, because I am starting to get a little hot. Put my 10mm back on the socket organizer. Put the impact and the sockets off to the side. And ta-da, we've also got our oil pump. So this is the 2JZ oil pump. As you can see, it is driven by the crank, hence the teeth here. And then you can also see, I'm pretty sure one of these is going to be the return, and then one of these is the feed. So I'm not exactly sure which one, but this is how the 2J builds oil pressure. As the crankshaft is spinning this here gear, it is making oil. I'm sure there's probably behind here, I can take it apart and look at it, but I'm not going to right this second. I'm pretty sure behind these 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 screws, I'm pretty sure there is a wheel, like a turbine type shape on the other side that is also attached to this, probably one piece. And as this spins, as the crankshaft is spinning, you are continually making oil pressure, which is pretty dang sweet. Pretty smart design, as you can see. And as you can see, oil pump is a little grimy, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the part cart. And that has almost concluded the 2JZ teardown. Now, there are a couple of things on here still that I do have to take off. I have to take off the union bolt, which basically is the segment that holds the oil adapter onto the engine. And that's just about it. So I'm going to go ahead and make some room here because I'm about to lift this 60-pound forged crankshaft. I think it's about 64 pounds if I had to estimate. I'm pretty sure that's what it weighs. So I'm going to go ahead and make some room so I don't trip or fall with the crankshaft, because that would not be a good or fun time. I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit closer with the camera. And then just give me a moment, bear with me, so I can shimmy the light back up. All right, and like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we are just about moments away from completing the 2JZ bottom end teardown. So what you guys are about to witness is me plucking out the 64-pound forged crankshaft. And I think it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go ahead and move this last couple of things out of the way. Take a sip of my drink, because this is a bit of an accomplishment to have this engine torn down. Got a little root beer. Ah, that's good. Okay. Got some caramel cold brew M&Ms. It's funny too, because they're on clearance. Apparently nobody likes the caramel cold brew M&Ms. I'll tell you what, though, these are good. Good they are. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Eminem's trying to kill me. Oh man, excuse me. I have not had that happen in a long time. Damn. All right. Had to recover before I can do this. Man. Maybe that's why they were on clearance. Excuse me. All jokes aside, as long as the M&Ms don't take me out of commission, we're just mere moments from concluding the 2JZ bottom end teardown. The only thing that I have remaining in the engine is the crankshaft. We've already loosened all the main caps, the rod caps, the pistons. Those have all been removed. And ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the line on the 2JZ teardown. And what I'm going to do right here is I am just about to lift this 64-pound forged crankshaft up and out of this engine. So, without further ado, let's do it to it. Remember, lift with your back. That's a joke. Oh, brother. Oh, wow. Yeah, she's not a light one. Fucking hell. Whew. And we drop the thrust washer into the pan of nastiness. Ooh, yeah, there's some oil in there. Ooh, okay. So I would lift it up to the camera so you guys could see it. But she's a little heavy. I mean, I can try. Gonna at least try a little bit. Make sure these are pressed in here proper. Let's see, which way does this go? This goes on the outside. Yeah, it does, okay. Excuse me, wow. Had my caramel cold brew M&Ms try to kill me. Whew. Shit. Okay. Wow, that is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Now, man, oh man. What a clean 2J. What a clean 2J. Wow. So, I am going to lift it up for the camera so you guys can see it. This thing is heavy as all hell. But we're going to... Yeah, that's a crankshaft, all right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the last part of the puzzle. The biggest prize and possibly almost the heaviest besides the block. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a 64-pound forged crankshaft. And this is the reason the 2JZ is a behemoth, paired with the pistons and cast iron block. But I'm going to put it back down because it is heavy as all hell. Oh, brother. So, without further ado, that is a brief conclusion on the 2JZ engine teardown. Like I said, the only thing that is remaining on this engine is going to be, we've got obviously our main bearings, which the crank was just resting on. I need to pluck those out and number them from 1 to 6. And I'm also going to do a brief inspection on them. They look pretty damn good, honestly. They look considerably good for this motor, probably having a good 100,000 plus miles on it, if not more than that. So yeah, things are looking good. Things are not looking bad at all. Excuse me. Oh, I just lost my mic. I lost my mic. Are we still got audio? Yeah. I lost my mic apparently when I went to pick that up. Put my mic back up here so you guys can hear me. Okay, make sure we got the wind guard on it. All right. Caramel cold brew, the best. Oh man, they're great. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, they were good until they choked me out, until they tried to kill me. All jokes aside. Well, now I'm going to enjoy the remainder of my root beer while I just sit here for a moment and enjoy the fact that I have just completely torn down a 2JZ motor by myself with no shop and minimal gear. What an achievement. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, here is the cast iron engine block. Cylinder block is technically what it is referred to as. But this is where the crank lies. This is where the pistons lie, the rods, and most importantly, the oil. So, wow. This thing looks so much smaller when you get all the other stuff out of it. I'll tell you what. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I need to get another pan though. I need to get another oil pan so I can spray this thing down, or another tray. I might have to go to the store, but I don't really want to right now. Oh, I know what I can do. I know exactly what I can do. Where's that bin at? There it is. Look at that bin. Brother, I can fit the block in that bin. I don't want anything to do with taking that block off the stand though, because it's probably gonna be heavy as all hell. But let's see, did I take the hook point off? I did take the hook point off. All right, cool. Did I? Oh no, okay, I see, it's on the head. All right. Well, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put this big ol' tub beneath the block, and we're gonna start doing a little bit of cleanup on the 2J because it is quite dirty. And I'm probably gonna wheel this out over there so you guys can see it a little bit better. Done with the root beer. That was good. Anyways, yeah. That is that came out pretty dang easily. I'll be honest with you, I really was not expecting the bolts and screws that I had to work for getting the the cam or timing belt sprocket off. I really thought that was going to be much more of a pain in the ass, so very thankful to be able to get that off. We got a little bit of gasket material around here. You can just kind of chip that off. So yeah, we got some gasket material that I'm just scraping off right now. And so far it doesn't look too bad at all. A lot easier to see the condition of the pistons, or I'm sorry, not the pistons, the cylinders now that the pistons are removed. Go ahead and wipe these gloves off. Yeah, things are looking pretty good. So here what I'm gonna do in a moment is I have a wire brush and I'm going to, I actually have a assortment of wire brushes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this big clear bucket situated underneath the engine, and then what I'm going to do is I have some gunk engine cleaner, and I'm just going to religiously unload can after can on this engine block to start getting it cleaned up. Yeah. Things look good though. This thing looks great. I do have two more things to remove. I've got the oil plate, oil filter adapter plate, whatever you want to call it. Basically where the oil filter screws up to it. And then once that is removed, I can take off the left-hand side, aka driver side of the engine mount, because that's the only two things that are really on here at this point. Everything up to now has been disconnected. So I'm going to go ahead and pop our safety pin in. I'm going to move the oil pan up and out of the way. Same with the crank. I'm probably just going to toss them over here onto this tray for the meantime. And then, oh brother, that's a heavy crankshaft, man. That's a heavy ass crankshaft, I'll tell you that. Whew. Okay. Bring this oil pan out. Just out of the way. And then I think we're gonna go, let's see, how heavy is this? Oh, it's not that bad now. Okay. Yeah, so we can take our safety pin out now. Put that right here in the meantime. Let's see, I still got my mic up. Okay, cool. Want to make sure I'm not losing my mic. We're gonna open up our container of cleaning supplies. Oh, I forgot I can use that too to catch some of the grime that's gonna inevitably be coming off of this engine here in a moment. And then I'm also gonna bring you guys a little closer here in a minute. So we got a bunch of cans of brake clean. We got a bunch of cans of engine gunk, which is like this foam spray that removes a bunch of grime from the engine, the block and such. So we got these bad boys. I got 4 of these. Should be more than sufficient for cleaning up the block, girdle, slash windage tray, and even maybe the cylinder head. Take these last bits of cleaning supplies out, and I'm actually going to use this this here container to catch the inevitable mess that is going to be dumping off of this engine. Because trust me when I tell you, there's going to be a lot dumping off. So I'm just going to kind of situate this. And then I think the other thing that I'm gonna do, this probably sounds funny, but I've got I got a dozen rocks over here. So I'm gonna take some of these rocks so I can put them along the center and keep this thing balanced. So when I start dumping a bunch of degreaser and grime off of the engine, it goes right in there and it stays right there, because the last thing I want to do is have it tip over, spill, and make a mess on the driveway. So I'm gonna bring you guys in a little closer. Hey, thank you guys for also joining the live. Andre, thank you for popping in. I hope you guys are having a good night. Also, keep in mind, whenever I am live, I'm not just shooting content. I'm not just live. I'm also shooting content for YouTube, and this also is getting edited later. You guys just narrowly missed me taking the crankshaft out of the 2JZ. There is currently no more pistons, rods, main caps, connecting rod caps. There's nothing left in this engine. It is a bare 2JZ cylinder block now. So what I'm gonna do now is I've got this engine cleaner, and I actually have to bring the light a little bit closer. Bear with me real quick. Get rid of that shadow of the camera rig. So this is some gunk engine cleaner, and this is foamy. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray down the exterior of the cylinder block, and I have a couple of wire brushes. I actually have quite an assortment of wire brushes, and we're gonna use them to get a bunch of this built up oil, dirt, grime, you name it, off of the engine. What car is this engine going into? This engine is going into that car. So this 2JZ is gonna be getting a full rebuild, and it's gonna be going in my 88 Mark III Toyota Supra Turbo that sits behind it. That engine, that car currently has no engine or transmission inside of it, and it originally started as a stock 7M GTE with a automatic A340E transmission. So that is, Andre, to answer your question, that is where this here engine is going to be going. I do have one more step before I start hitting this with some foam. What I am going to do is I want to take out these I need to take out these what's the name for them, main bearings. So the bottom main bearings. So I'm just going to tilt the engine so you guys can see them. Let me move this damn harness because it's tugging on that. There we go. Okay, that should be good right about there, at least so you guys can see it. But yeah, it is going to be going into my 88 Mark III Supra, which you can see right behind the engine. And what I'm briefly about to do is move the light in a little bit more. What I'm about to do is, so there is main bearings that the crankshaft rides on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them to be specific. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually spray them with brake clean while they're still in here, so we can start getting some of the grime out of the engine. And then I'm gonna wipe them down and I'm gonna number them, and that's gonna help with understanding where they belong when it's time for reassembly. There's also a bit of gasket material in the block currently, so just gonna go to town with a little brake clean for right now. Spray down the main bearings, spray down the block. Spray down the cylinders. Oh, there goes one of our thrust washers. So we're gonna need that. We wanna make sure we understand the orientation, so it looks like it goes indentations outward. So I'm just gonna put that over there for the meantime. Might as well take this other one out so it doesn't come flying out like the last one. Okay, so this is our other thrust washer. I'm pretty sure what the name of this thing is. So there's 2 of these, one on each side. That is out. And right now, like I said, I am just spraying down these cylinders with some brake clean. Make sure you do this in a well-ventilated area or with some form of respirator, because brake clean high is not enjoyable. So I'm spraying out the oil ports. Okay, I got a tiny bit of brake clean left in this can, so I'm just gonna, like I said, just go to town with it. And then, just so I can make sure there's no more debris in here, we're gonna go full vertical. Spray it down from roughly every angle. There was a little bit of gasket material as I was scraping it off that fell into the block, so that's kind of what I'm spraying out right now. All right, that's another can of brake clean down the drain, but a much cleaner cylinder block. And the next part that I'm going to be doing is we're going to wipe down the cylinders and such. Right after this, I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to remove these main bearings. So there's 2 parts of the main bearing, and I'll show you. So the first part of the main bearing is on the top end of the rod cap. So if you take a look underneath the tape, you'll see there's a secondary piece of metal here, and you can probably see a little bit of the wear on it, and that is called the main bearing. So these are your main caps, and these hold the crankshaft into the engine. So these main caps play a very important role, and these main bearings play an even more important role, because these make sure that things are lubricated and things stay spinning freely. So this is going to be the upper half of the main bearing, and technically the lower half when you think about it, because the ones I just showed you would be on the bottom side, holding the crank up into the engine if it wasn't upside down right now. So technically I'm about to remove the top main bearings. And like I said, as I pluck these out, I'm going to be wrapping them with some tape, and I'm going to be numbering them in their orientation. So, because these go out and come out and go in a specific orientation, which is quite important. So for example, this one just came out like this, so I'm going to hold it and not lose the orientation of which it came out. So this is number 1. So I'm gonna get a Sharpie, and you can actually see some of the wear on this main bearing right there. You can kind of see where it's scored up a little bit, some of where it's blackened. So that's how this number 1 looks. And this was installed like this, facing that way. So I'm gonna put a 1 on this facing that way. So I have some tape over here. I'm going to just briefly put this right here, just so I can remember where it goes. Excuse me. And yeah, I got some tape. And we're gonna go ahead and wrap it with some tape and number it. If I can figure out where this roll starts and ends. All right, I gotta take this glove off. Also, if you're wondering what gloves I like to use, I like to pick these up from Harbor Freight. These are a textured glove. I actually like these because when you're working on cars, doing an oil change, whatever, these make it a little bit harder to drop your tools when you're working on stuff. These are, this is actually the box for them right here. They are Hardy Diamond Texture nitrile gloves. These are the orange box. Should have these at just about any Harbor Freight that you go to. These are a dream. These make working on cars a whole lot easier than just having the normal gloves that don't have any texture. Especially if you're gripping wrenches and things like that, especially when you're doing like an oil change, and you might end up getting some, you might have some oil getting on your gloves and on your tools and things of that nature. So definitely helps out. And then I just have some painter's tape. So I'm gonna take a little segment of painter's tape. And like I said, I had this in a specific orientation. And even though I will be replacing these, it is always good to have a form of reference when you're taking things out, how they're coming out, how they belong, how they go in. So this came out like that. So here I have some Sharpies in my pocket. Let's go, where's the red? So we're gonna do red. I'm gonna draw number 1 on this one. Number 1, that one looks horrible. And then we're gonna do an arrow that way. So we got our little 1 that looks atrocious, like I said, and a little arrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this, put it on the part cart right next to number 1. And then I'm just gonna keep breezing through these. So I'm gonna leave my Sharpie open. And oh yeah, I'm gonna wipe these down too as I'm removing them. Take off any more oil or whatever might be on them. So sometimes these are a little tricky to get out of the block, but should be able to. I usually try to like push down on one side so I can get a little bit of it up on the other side. Okay. Okay, so number 2 is now out. 2 of 7. And not looking too bad. And that came out just like that. So I'm gonna wrap it with some tape, number it number 2. Ah man, organization. Possibly one of the most important parts of removing and or tearing down an engine. Without organization, good luck figuring out how it goes back together. So it's always good to have Sharpies and tape and painter's tape and things of that nature, so you can remember how it came out, so you know how it goes back together. So I just wrote a little 2 with an arrow on this one, as you can see, 2. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the part cart. And then I'm just gonna put these in chronological order, even though they're numbered and such. Makes it a little bit easier. So once I do go to put these into a box, whether I use them again or not, typically when you rebuild an engine, you're going to want to replace things like that, bearings, gaskets, anything that's got a quote unquote, excuse me, lifetime to it, or I'm sorry, not a lifetime, I meant like a consumable, anything that's like a consumable, like a gasket or something, where it's good when you put it in but may need replacement later. It's always good to go ahead and replace that as you were taking them out. And I just put that directly in engine oil. So, yep, we're on now on number 3. Go ahead and wrap it with some tape. Hope you guys are having a good Monday night. I am just rocking and rolling, getting this engine done because college just started up again for me and I have some work that I have to do. So I am trying my best to get the engine as torn down as possible so I can start working on getting parts again for the rebuild. 3 with an arrow, okay. Number 3 is now out. We're gonna go ahead and put this on the part cart in chronological order. And let me just move this, move that over. There we go, make some room for our other 4. And then let's see if you guys are saying anything in the chat over here. Sorry, my laptop's a little bit further away. Also, and Andre, thank you very much for dropping some love in the chat. I appreciate it. You're back, spread the word, TikTok and Snapchat. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's always good to have people in the live. So we are just breezing through, taking the rest of these main bearings out. These are going to be the top side main bearings. I already hit them with some brake clean, and I am currently just using some tape, some painter's tape, to organize and tag them with orientation and arrows, not only numbers but also arrows to indicate which way they were installed and how they're coming out. And this one was just like this. So yeah, so far it's coming along pretty good. Not bad at all. But yeah, like I said, I just started classes again for college, so it's gonna start having me a little bit busier, and then figured getting as much of this engine torn down before I started back up would be perfect. So I removed this one from there. So I'm gonna draw 4 on this side with an arrow on the other side. 4. And our arrow, perfect. This can go on the part cart. Now we've only got 2 more main bearings to remove, and there's nothing left in the block. It is a clean, empty block. No pistons, no rods, no crank, no main bearings. Oh shit. That's not good. Ideally, you do not want to do what I just did. Hold on to your bearings. Don't let them drop through your cylinder. That's not good. Thankfully, I don't believe I did any damage with that maneuver. Yeah, no, I didn't. But you don't want that to happen. That's not very ideal. Anyways, this one just came out from here. I'm gonna go ahead and tape and tag it. But yeah, I ended up, went out for a little bit. I grabbed the bolts that we needed from Ace Hardware. And I also went to the grocery store, picked up some food. So after this, I'm gonna be cooking myself a steak as a celebration for getting said engine apart. All right, let me just double check. Did I number that one 5? No, okay, I see what I did. I accidentally skipped one, so this is gonna be number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, orientation forward. Okay. Accidentally skipped one. So we got 6. Then we're gonna take out 5, and then number 7. So yeah, like I said, even though I am not gonna be reusing these main bearings, I am still going to orientate them and mark them because that is just the best practice, especially when you're taking parts out. And this is going to be number 5, and it came out in that orientation. Okay, we got number 5. And last one, we got number 7. So out comes the very last main bearing for the top side. Once again, these ensure lubrication and keep the crank spinning within the cylinder block. Okay, and that's number 7. And number 7 also came out in the same orientation. It looks like they've all got indents on the left-hand side of the engine, so the driver's side. So this is going to be 7 with an arrow like that. Okay, cool. So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is our last main bearing removed from the engine. And I've been putting them over here on the part cart in chronological order as they've been being removed. And now, as I said before, there truly is nothing within this engine block. So I'm just gonna take this microfiber, give it a little wipe down, wipe off the journals where the bearings and the crank sits. And I'm even going to wipe out the pistons. I'm going to do that once I get this engine flipped over again. However, that was the most important part. And then I've also got 2 thrust washers here, which go on the sides of number 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4. So number 4 has got these 2 thrust bearings that have indents on the left and right side, so the outside. Let me just hold it in the middle so you can see them. So that's what those look like. What's that? Just asking because you've already been through high school and you might have an idea. Yeah, I've definitely already finished high school. I'm actually glad once you get done with it too, you don't have to go back. How's that sound? All right, so these are gonna be number 4. So I'm just gonna take these 2, put them together, sort of, and tape them, and put a little number 4 on them. Yeah, once you're done with high school, you do not have to worry about going back. Let's see, did you say something else? Okay, cool. I don't know if there was another message that you sent or what it was, but I don't think I've seen it yet. So just tape those 2 together, and then these are going to be number 4, so I'm going to put a 4 on this side, and I'll put a 4 on this side. go. Okay. So those are our 2 thrust washers or bearings, whatever, thrust bearings. Okay. Now I think we're done with bagging and tagging because there's not a whole lot left on this engine. Let's see, did you see something, say something else in the chat? I sent the message before. I said I was just asking, does it not show on your screen? No, it doesn't actually, unless you actually message me on Snapchat or TikTok, my bad. No, the one that I seen before that is, yo, I'm back. I spread the word on your TikTok and Snapchat. That's the previous one that I can see. Let's wipe down the stool real quick. Okay, so that can of brake clean is empty. And I'm actually gonna bring you guys a little bit closer because we're about to have a fun time with some foam. We're about to foam this engine down and make it look clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop the camera rig down. Ow, ooh, that's heavy. Not squish my hand in between the camera rig and the tripod. I'm gonna bring you guys the camera and the lighting solution a little bit closer. Oh damn. Again, starting to get far away from our power supply. I'm gonna have to keep moving the cord up. There we go. Okay. Camera is nice and cool. Don't have to worry about it overheating. A little to the right. How's that look? All right, that's perfect. Okay. Enjoy another one of these caramel cold brew M&Ms. Okay. Now is the fun part. The good old engine cleaner. Shake well. Well, I guess we're gonna start shaking. Oh, man, I'm not left-handed, dude. Come on. All right, so I have a full can of Gunk foamy engine cleaner, and I am just gonna go ahead and go to town on the engine. And without further ado, here we go. All right, so this stuff really does the trick. Makes a little bit of a mess, but it works real good. So I'm spraying down the entire engine with this. Once again, this is Gunk engine foam cleaner. just absolutely going to town with it. Front, inside, I'll probably do the top as well. And I'm also going to shake this can. And I'm going to start going to town on this side of the engine. I think I'm almost out of this can. This is the fun part, the cleanup, the 2J cleanup. Okay, so this stuff, like I said, goes on as a foam, and then it kind of degreases and kind of turns back into a liquid, and kind of just falls off the engine. So since I have a good 3 extra cans of this, I'm just going to go to town with as much as I can right now. And this is good for cleaning up the engine. All right, and that is basically 1 can down. So, now that we've hit it with that 1 can of engine cleaner gunk, just gonna go ahead and toss that extra can over here with our empty can of brake clean. Go ahead and wipe my gloves off. I'm gonna go ahead and start shaking up another can because I have 3 additional cans of this stuff sitting over here on the side. Let's see if anybody else is saying anything in the chat. Okay, looks like it's pretty chill. And what I'm going to do here in a moment is I'm going to take this okay, so I have a nice brass bristle brush, and while this is kind of soaking and pre-treating the engine, I've already shook a secondary can. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this brass bristle brush. Say that 5 times fast. And I'm not gonna go too crazy because the harder you scrub, the more it's gonna spit this stuff everywhere. But just gonna start going over the block with this brush along the edges. And this is gonna help break down any of the remaining gunk, engine oil, grime, whatever you want to call it, that's on the sides and all over this engine. So yeah, this should do the trick pretty well. It's always good whenever I've done this previously, I've used this previously, and I would definitely recommend having more than one can, because once you start like pre-treating this stuff, it helps a lot to get the rest off. Wow, what a hell of a mess. So yeah, this is kind of doing the trick. Just barely. I'm gonna go over this with the, actually I think I'm not gonna do that down here. I'm gonna stay away from using the brushes, at least the metal brushes on the mating surfaces, because I don't want to mar up the surfaces. But so far, things are looking pretty good. Oh yeah, you know what I am gonna do too? I'm gonna take these bottles that I have right here, these spray bottles, and I'm gonna fill them with some hot water and some degreaser. You send it again, for some reason it won't send. Yeah, I'm not sure. I actually haven't seen it. But I have these two Zep large professional spray bottles. So bear with me real quick. I'm gonna go fill these up with some real hot water, and that's gonna help get off any of the additional grime. And I'm also gonna fill another one with some degreaser. So the two paired together with degreaser and hot water should help get a lot of this extra grime off the engine. And it should look almost brand new. By the time I'm done with it, it's probably gonna take me a little bit of time, but that's all right. What is a little time to sacrifice to have the engine nice and clean? So the cool part is actually you guys can hear me, and not long from now we will be having a battery plate system, so you guys don't have to be tethered to power all the time. I'll be able to actually bring you guys in and out and around with me on the camera setup without having to worry about to power. And the only other thing I will have to figure out is how to stream my video feed. I mean, I could always get like a wireless option, but we'll figure that out when the time comes. So right now I'm just getting some real hot water going, and then I'm going to fill these up to the brim. So we're just going to let that water get nice and hot. I'm going to get some purple Zep degreaser, and I'm going to get some citrus purple degreaser. And I'm probably going to fill these up about, I don't know, almost all the way. And then I'm going to fill them up the rest of the way with some degreaser and give them a good shake. Should be good. So I'm going to put purple in that one. I'm going to put orange in this. Okay. And that should work pretty damn well for getting the, like I said, the rest of the grime off of the engine. I've got a big thing of purple and orange Zep citrus and purple stuff degreaser. So this one, like I said, is going to be purple. Also, this stuff that I'm using is concentrated, so I'm doing a ratio of about 10 to 1, I think. The other thing that's nice is it allows you to stretch the degreaser a little bit longer, because if you just use straight degreaser, it will work, but then you're blowing through degreaser a lot faster. Okay, so there's some citrus and there's some orange, some good stuff. Put these tops back on and I'll be just out in a moment. And we're all set now. So now we got some scorching hot water, some citrus, orange degreaser, and we got some purple stuff. And this should work wonders in combination with the foaming degreaser. Let's just test our sprayer. All right, we're gonna have to open these nozzles up, get a fine mist going. See if anybody say anything. You'll be on my live stream next time I'm on? Awesome, that's no problem. Thank you for jumping in and having a good time. As you can see, we got our purple stuff, which actually looks clear because the bottle's tinted slightly, and we got some orange right here. Yeah, thank you very much for jumping in. It's always a good time. You as well, you have a good rest of your night. I'm gonna be spending a little bit of time here degreasing this engine and hopefully getting it to look brand new. So I got a good mix of hot water in this bottle with some degreaser. So I'm just hitting it with some purple stuff all the way around, inside and outside. So far, this purple stuff in this hot water is working pretty damn good. So yeah, a mix of hot water, real hot water, as hot as you can get it, in a spray bottle with some degreaser will do you wonders when you're tearing down and cleaning up an engine. So there's our purple stuff, and I'm gonna start going ham with the orange on top of it. So this one, I'm gonna leave it on a little bit of a, more of a stream to kind of blast the hard spots. Anywhere where it might just be really gunked up. And this is already doing the trick, working wonders. So right now I'm just spraying through the oil channels. And I'm also gonna just spray out everything that's kind of built up grime. And I'll be honest with you, this is kind of doing the trick. 2JZ block. Hey, EK Cisco, thank you very much, brother. This is indeed a 2JZ block. And currently I'm actually cleaning it up. I just got the crankshaft off about, about 15, 20 minutes ago now. So I got a good thing of some citrus degreaser in a Zep Pro sprayer bottle. And I've also got a dozen other cans of gunk engine foam cleaner. And this is what I'm gonna be hitting it with here in a moment. And yeah, for those that don't know, that's the project car it's gonna be going into. It's gonna be going into my 88 Mark III Supra once it gets a fresh rebuild. However, yeah, in the meantime, since I just started college back up, I was working on trying to get as much of this torn down and cleaned up as I possibly could before I had to go back to class. So over the last week or two, I have spent cleaning, tearing down, and getting everything apart. That way I can then focus on parts acquisition and college and things of that nature. But yeah, my plan is to do as full of a rebuild as I possibly can. I know that parts are expensive, but preferably once I build this engine and made it up to that fully built R154 transmission I have sitting on my floor, I don't want to have to take this engine apart for a long time. I'm doing my thing. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you for dropping some love too, brother. Thank you very much. But yeah, so far things are looking pretty good. You can still see the crosshatch in the cylinders, which is wonderful. And yeah, right now I just kind of unloading some degreaser at it with some real hot water. And man, it's starting to look a lot better. It's starting to look a whole lot better. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that I can get these last parts off. I've just got the oil plate adapter on the other side over here. And look at that, 2JZ starting to look all clean on this side. You can finally see that it's a 2J. Everybody thought I was lying before. Nah, all jokes aside, this thing was so gunked that you couldn't even, when I was first taking this out of the SC300 at the junkyard, or I'm sorry, it was a GS300. GS300. I gotta do our donor right. Can't misrepresent the donor. Anyways, yeah, I got this from a GS300, and when I was taking it out, I thought it was kind of funny because the moment I popped it out of the engine bay, it was so grimy that I couldn't even, like, I had to use this wire brush to like scrape it off and to see that it was a 2J. I already knew it was a 2J, but you know what I mean? It was all gunked to all hell and back. And it still is. It's not as bad as it did look before. I think the next thing that I am gonna do though, when I unload this second can of foam, which is about to happen here in the next couple of minutes, I think I'm gonna flip it back over. Because now that I've gotten the main bearings and pistons and crank, oil pump, everything off of this engine, I think it's about time that we give her a cleanup from this side. So, go ahead and put our safety pin back in. And yeah, now that's way better to clean. I'll tell you what, shit. The other way, I was having a hard time cleaning it. Yeah, it's starting to look really good. Thank you very much also. I appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. I think I might go wide angle. I think I'm gonna go a little bit further back with the camera just because I'm spraying a bunch of chems and shit. Yeah, the pistons look so good. My bad, not the pistons, the cylinders. The cylinders look really, really good. Whew, that shit is strong. But yeah, the cylinders look great, so that's always good news. I know a 2J when I see one. Ah, yo, that is so funny, actually. It's funny that you mentioned that too, because it was upside down. It was completely upside down. So here, just bear with me real quick. I'm gonna actually move the camera back so I can get a little bit of a better shot. Just a little bit. I mean, I'll be honest with you, that was probably a perfect shot. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I will just keep it over here. It's not like I really need to be in frame. I don't care that much. So whatever, we're just gonna bring this back over here. But yeah, so I got another can of foam engine cleaner and we're about to unload on this bad boy right here. So go ahead and shake this shit up. Where's my other glove at? That's the other question. Oh, here it is, hold on. Put this glove back on. But yeah, so I got a, I have a large bin that I got from Home Depot. It's like a storage bin. It's kind of funny, actually. I got this big ass storage bin that I could fit the cylinder head in. I didn't even realize it, but I could probably put the block in there if I needed to scrub it down, but I can just do it on the stand. So I'm gonna put the cylinder head in there. So I actually bought this from Home Depot for like 20 bucks, this little bin, because I didn't feel like going to Harbor Freight and spending like 100 bucks on a parts washer, because the new parts washer that they have at Harbor Freight, you can barely fit a damn cylinder head in it. Like, you could do small parts, but like, I don't know, I just figured it was cheaper to get a damn bucket and throw degreaser and shit in it. But without further ado, we were about to unload Gunk Engine Cleaner Foam number 2. They need to start sponsoring me, brother. How many damn cans of this shit I bought? Same with Brake Clean. But yeah, figured it would be super easy to just get it degreased and cleaned. And you know what I do got to do? I gotta show this 2J right here. This 2J stamp a little love real quick. I want to polish her. Hold on, bear with me real quick. I'm gonna grab. I have an assortment of brushes on the part cart, so I'm just gonna grab all these brushes because I know I'm gonna need them. There we go. That's more like it. So, got a plethora of brushes. There's probably 6 or 9 different ones here. And then let's see. One thing I used to clean my block is use the barbecue grill and some citrus cleaner, and it worked so good. Word, that's actually funny as hell. You mentioned that. Yeah, especially with a Civic, with an inline 4. Yeah, you could fucking like, I'd be advantageous. You'd have to fight every bone in your body to not just stick it in your own oven. There we go. There's 2JZ, baby. JZ. Jigga. Jigga. Yep, there we go. JZ. There's 2 of them right there. Anyways, yeah, I can't believe that I actually have a 2JZ engine sitting here. Still blows my mind. Still fucking blown away by the fact that I was even able to acquire this. at the price that I was able to acquire it for. I had to work to get it out. I'll tell you what, I had to work to get this damn thing out of that damn car, but I think I have the cheapest 2J in all history. Which is partially why I do not mind throwing some money in regard to parts back into it, because I know that if I invest in doing it right the first time, I won't regret it, and I won't have to do it a second time for a long while. Which is possibly the most advantageous part of this build, is the fact that I know that this engine is very, very capable compared to the 7M. Not that the 7M can't do work, but I know that there's more aftermarket support for these engines. Dreams come true. Man, I appreciate it. I really do. Yo, I just really can't believe it, honestly. Real shit. Can't even believe that this bitch is here. It says 2JZ on it, brother. Like, the fuck? How? I gotta slide in frame real quick, because how, dude? Like, are you serious? Life is a trip, man. That it is. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and unload engine cleaner canister number 2. Let's go ahead and bring the light a little closer, and let's bump this down a little bit more. Is that good? Yeah, that's great. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got a 2JZ sitting here, and it's going in my 88 Mark III Supra. Can't believe it. Legitimately can't believe it. So whenever I use this gunk, I try to go like not too generous with the first coat, because I feel like if you just layer it on, it'll just all dump. It'll just like all fall off like instantly. So I try to like kind of let it sit, and then I'll kind of fill in as it starts to like drip. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that side, do the top end, do the cylinders, even though the cylinders don't really need it that much. Yeah, you know what's actually funny is I was originally gonna, so I got this engine right before Christmas, and I was originally gonna get a big ass Christmas tree storage box, like a fucking 7-foot long plastic container. And that was what I was gonna use for cleaning up the engine, like the cylinder head and shit. But I'm glad I ended up with this one, because this one was $20 cheaper, and it's doing the job perfectly. Shit, I'm gonna be honest with you. After 2 cans of this and some hot water and degreaser, I think she's gonna be looking damn near brand new. Oh yeah, look at that. Man, this stuff here does some work. That's why I love using this stuff. This stuff is just great. Spray the oil filter adapter, get a little in there, get some all up in there. Let's see, where is the hole at? There we go, filled to the brim. Yeah, I do need to take this off. However, I don't have the right tool to take off this this union bolt yet. Excuse me. I could probably manage to do it with channel locks, but that's kind of the last thing I want to do. So until I get the right tool to take it off, which I forgot to grab when I was out today, it's just gonna stay on with the other engine mount. Not that it's a big deal, but I do have to take it off. Definitely didn't forget about it. So far, just breezing through can number 2, and I'll be honest with you, it is already starting to clean up very well. Go ahead and toss this can over here, and let me wipe my gloves off, but yeah, it's coming along great. It is coming along wonderfully. And here in a moment, I'm gonna get back to spraying it down with some degreaser. I'm probably actually gonna refill these. Probably gotta refill them here in a moment, but in the meantime, it's been working pretty damn good, in fact. And let's see, I think I'm gonna go with a nylon bristle brush this time. Let's see how it works. You know what, I almost want the wide one. Let's get the wide one in there. This is a stainless, this is a brass, and this is the nylon. Probably doesn't matter which one I use, but I figured the nylon is a little bit easier to work with. So yeah, guys, that is currently what we're working on. Working on the good old 2JZ cleanup, making it look brand new. Basically stripped down to a short block now. No more crank, no more pistons. That's all been removed. Windage tray, aka girdle, and oil pan have also been disassembled and removed. I've got that. That's actually the next thing I gotta clean. Oh man, I'll be honest with you, there's something fun about cleaning this up. Even if I do bring it to a machine shop and have them do some work, I know they'll hot tank it, or I can have them hot tank it, but I don't know, there's something kind of fun about doing this, you know? And there's something fun that that I get out of doing the cleanup, you know? Quite enjoyable to see it go from, oh man, literally a junkyard mess to a full-blown, like, ready to use, rebuild engine. It's pretty funny how it works. So yeah, just kind of scrubbing away at the gunk and unloading can after can of gunk on this thing. Okay. Yeah, look at that. We can now see that it's a 2J. 2JZ, baby. No shit. Man, somebody is hauling ass. That's either a Beamer or a motorcycle. I think it's a motorcycle. Yeah, fuck it. That should be good right there, as long as it doesn't drop any further. I think I'm going to take off this union bolt next, so I can take this VVTi oil supply line out. Because it is kind of in the way, and I want to keep breezing through this cleanup. This nylon brush isn't working too bad either. This thing is kind of doing the trick. It's actually kind of funny to be removing so many damn layers of grease, and you see that there's like this part. I didn't even know that this was silver. This oil filter adapter plate, or whatever you want to call it. see if he said anything. All right, cool, just kind of chilling. Cool. Excuse me, but yeah, so far it is coming along quite well. I'm gonna hit this with some more degreaser here in a minute. Just some spray. And let me put my brushes under there. And yeah, hit it with some purple and some orange. Oh, look at that. It is just blasting away the grime. All right, gonna have to do a little refill on our citrus here in a minute. All right, that did the trick. Look at that. Holy shit. And we're gonna throw some purple on top of it. And then after this, once I'm done with this bottle, I'm gonna go refill them with hot water, and I think I might do a hot water rinse. And then I might do another can of gunk after that. That's what I think I'm gonna do. There we go. All right. So, hey, what's going on? Thank you for jumping into the live. I appreciate it. Currently, we are cleaning up the block on the good old 2JZ engine. However, I just went through both of my extra large spray bottles filled with degreaser. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill these up with some more hot water. And we're gonna come back out and get to spraying down the block. As you can see, it's already looking pretty damn good. And right here, we got the 2JZ stamped into the block. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fill these up with some more hot water so we can get back to degreasing and making this thing look brand new. Gotta go get some more hot water real quick, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go get a refill, some hot water, so we can keep tearing down and cleaning up that block, because there's no more parts in it. There's only 2 more things connected and not a whole lot more effort that needs to be done before it's just time to work on acquiring parts and work on rebuild. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill these up with some real hot water and come back out and probably do it a couple more times, and then I'm almost done for tear down and disassembly and clean up. Then I'm gonna cook some food in a little bit. Cook some steak up. Okay, that's one bottle full. Let's fill up our next one. I think I'm going to do just a round of water this time. Okay. So yeah, like I said, this time I'm just going to do a bunch of really hot water. And then after this, we're going to go back to some more degreaser. And that should work pretty good. Also, the wireless mic system should be working wonderfully. I should have been able to hear me all the way inside while I was refilling these, which is pretty damn awesome because the receiver is actually on the camera rig right now. Looks amazing. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, I got 2 fully loaded professional sprayers of hot water, and this should do the trick for getting a bunch of this extra grime off. Make sure I'm not getting anything on the camera lens. No, I think we're good. So I've got these bottles set to 2 separate settings. One of them I've got set to just spraying hot water out in a direct stream. And then the other one I've got set to kind of like mist it out in like a fan. That's so hot, it's steaming off the block. That is so funny. See it shooting steam out of the coolant passages. We've already almost gone through a whole nother bottle of hot water. Not a problem though. So far, things are working out pretty good. All right, that's another bottle of hot water down the pipe. But it is working wonders so far. Now this is going to be fanning a hot water mist over the just the entire surface. So this is really good for taking off layer upon layer of grease and grime that have accumulated over the years on this engine as it was being run. See if anybody's saying anything in the chat. Okay. Wow, look at that. There's not a whole lot left of grime on this. There's a couple of hot spots of grime, but to be honest with you, I think that last can of gunk might just do us some service and get that last little bit of grime off this engine. Getting down to the last little bit of hot water in this bottle, and I'm gonna go ahead and refill these up with some more degreaser. I think a little bit of elbow grease, and yeah, shouldn't be a whole lot left to have this engine looking brand new. And then I can conclude the teardown as pretty much done. I do have a couple of other parts I'll have to clean, but the main thing of my concern is the block always, and then the cylinder head, and then the girdle and oil pan, but for the most part, it's really looking good. All right, time to go fill these bottles again and let the good old 2J keep soaking. You know what I think I am gonna do? I think we're gonna move on to gunk can number 3. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna shake this up pretty good. We got gunk engine cleaner foam can number 3. And when I go fill these up, I'm just gonna throw a layer of this on here. Okay. So now that that is just soaking and degreasing, like I said, I'm gonna go refill these bottles with some hot water and some degreaser this time, and we'll be back. Let this kind of do its thing, drip off all the gunk and grime. I think I'm gonna do even a stronger ratio this time of purple to orange. I'm gonna do like a 1-to-4 ratio. All right, we got our bottles filled with some more degreaser, and Let's get back to it. Wow, this is looking a whole lot better than it did before. Wow, that is coming along. It's probably gonna need some more time to soak and sit, maybe another can of degreaser, but whew. Soon that water is gonna run clear. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's almost there. But yeah, it's coming out pretty good. Oh yeah, you can see 2JZ, you can see it right there. Nice. Yep, it is starting to really look good. It needed some love. It needed some cleanup. It needed some TLC, but it's getting it, and it's it deserves it. So I'm just gonna let that engine gunk just kind of keep working its way off. That stuff works really good. That stuff works really, really good. Ta-da! Wow, yeah, that looks pretty good. Looks pretty damn good. Not bad for what it looked like before. Before it was looking really, really rough. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go fill up these bottles real quick. We're gonna hit it with some hot water. Oh, I guess not. I guess I have a whole bunch more of orange to mist over this. So I'm gonna mist it with some orange. Then I'm gonna go fill up that other one with just some water. Okay, time for some more hot water. And yeah, take a look at that. Yeah, that block looks so much better than it did before. I think I'm gonna hit it with some more hot water, and then I think I'm gonna be calling it here shortly because I'm starting to get a little hungry. Whew. right, we got 2 large bottles filled with hot water. And like I said, I think this is gonna be the last bit that I spray at this engine for tonight before I let it dry. And then tomorrow I can clean up any remnants of mess that still stick around. But it is looking pretty good. Excuse me. Looking basically brand new. A couple of hot spots of grime that still need to be cleaned up, but for the most part, it is looking pretty damn good. Almost done. Almost done. At least for tonight. Nice. That looks a lot better. Okay, that bottle's empty and there's only a little bit left on this one. And then I'm gonna be calling it so I can go out and get something to eat or cook something maybe. Okay. That is the rest of our water in our bottle. So that's our 2 bottles empty. We went through 3 cans of gunk, 2 cans of brake clean, but so far things are looking great. I'm gonna go ahead and back the camera and light up now. So as you guys can see, the good old 2JZ is significantly cleaner than it was when we first started. Go ahead and move my camera over. There we go. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, that has been my short of there being a couple of things that I have to clean up that is going to take a little bit more time that I just don't have tonight. That has been my conclusion of the 2JZ tear down, more specifically the bottom end. The other day we got the pistons out, the rods, we loosened the main caps, and we just got the crank out. We got the crank pulley off today. We got the timing sprocket off as well. And yeah, there's not a whole lot left to clean up. Obviously we can brake clean the crank and then the oil pan, timing cover, and girdle / windage tray. But for the most part, that has been my teardown of the good old 2JZ engine. Thank you guys for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. And without further ado, I'm JDMJ. Make sure you guys don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Maybe share it if you know somebody who might find it interesting. Without further ado, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.